So we talked a couple weeks ago about like,
Are we going?
yeah, no,
Oh, okay. All right. All
yeah.
right. Okay. All right.
So we took a cat to the vet yesterday.
Just one?
Yeah, because the other one didn't get her gabapentin, you know,
Gabapentin is for what? I forget.
just like calming down pets.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
and like we had talked about like food competition.
Oh, yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. So anyway, we take the skinny cat in
Yeah.
yesterday, and we get told that this cat is fine.
The skinny one.
He's totally fine.
Right.
Yeah, 10.5 pounds. So,
Okay.
yeah, totally fine. So I thought she was like skinny,
Okay.
but apparently not. That's normal,
All right.
which makes the other cat that much fucking fatter.
How much does that one weigh?
I don't know.
Because you didn't take in that one. Yeah.
No,
you
because
just
we
write
didn't
that
get
one down.
the like calm down drugs.
Right.
So,
Right.
but even skinny cat actually scratched the shit out of the vet.
Really?
Yeah, and the vet was like, "Oh, it's fine.
Oh,
Like-
it's...
Didn't get bit, just got scratched."
Okay.
Yeah,
That's better?
I don't know. So
I don't know either. You'd be the person I ask.
I don't know either, man. But it's like now I'm kind of concerned about how fat the other cat is. So
Well,
she's probably got about 4 pounds on her, a cat.
that doesn't sound like a lot, but it probably is. I mean, you're talking about 50% of the body or 40% of the body composition.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like skinny cat, apparently healthy cat.
Yeah.
Like I can get my hands around her like this.
Yeah.
So I'm making the C shape stuff.
Hands around her what part?
Waist.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So, and apparently that's okay. So, chubby cat, not so much. So,
Well, so what's your plan? Is it weights or cardio?
I don't know yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, my plan was starvation.
How much does that cat eat though?
The fat one?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I put them both out there and they both get fed at the same time. So, skinny cat eats and eats and eats, and then walks away. Fat cat just stays there and eats all the food. So,
But not both foods, right?
well, it's all the same food. So,
What's what you're saying? That you fed both of them, but
right, but skinny cat knows how to regulate.
well, okay, so here's my thing is like, all right, so both cats, do they get the same amount of food or do you just
Correct.
feed them from the same bowl?
Same bowl.
All right, so you don't know for sure what the percentage is that
So I was trying to time it out
Yeah.
just to see, like, okay, does fat cat like sit there and eat all of skinny cat's food?
yeah,
But skinny cat like eats until she's full and then walks away.
yeah,
And then fat cat just like slops up the rest of it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but okay, so we know that those two come from the same litter, right? How many
They're
cats?
sisters. Yeah.
Right, how many cats come from that cohort? Do you know?
To my knowledge, too.
Okay,
So,
so but we don't know for sure. Were there other cats in the area?
no, when we adopted them, they were both abandoned. So, yeah.
Okay, because I mean, here's the thing is like, all right, so they come from the same group. They could, genetic differences, within the same thing, of course. But like, what we don't know here is if the chubbier one had to, if it was basically like eating.
Well, they were both bottle fed. So,
Okay.
because they were so tiny, that they had to be rescued. Otherwise,
Yeah.
they would have died. Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know if it's like a starvation thing, a picked up habit. I don't know, but like, if you got one that's, I hate to say it, man, you gotta like feed them independently.
Well, yeah, but that was the thing I thought was like, I thought there was a negative like aspect of like feeding both of them at the same time. Like one was getting starved.
How so?
Well, no, skinny cat. I thought she was getting
Oh,
starved, but
well.
no, she regulates.
Right.
The other
Right.
one just like you're right, yeah.
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 Well, like this one wouldn't. She wouldn't regulate. She would fucking.
Eat all the pizzas.
She'd eat herself stupid, meal after meal,
Yeah, okay. So my thinking now is like, all right, so fine. You guys like are doing a good job of regulating. Well, Skinny Cat,
Yeah,
she eats what she wants to and then leaves.
yeah,
And then Fat Cat's getting the like excess.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Like I said, man, you got to feed them independently.
Well, yeah, no, I thought that like it was a point in time where it's like, okay, so maybe I have to feed Skinny Cat a little bit more. So where we lock Fat Cat up.
That sounds like no. It sounds like it's eating the
Correct.
right amount.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, man.
it's okay. She's really cute.
No, man, they're great cats, but like,
One of them is definitely getting tubby.
yeah,
So,
but that's the you know that when it comes to like pets, even if they're from the same like litter, right? They all have their own unique personalities,
right.
just like kids, man. You could have two
I
twins
just
and they
thought it
have.
was a zero-sum game, but it's not, you know?
Oh, so. Oh my.
Well, I thought, like, Fat Cat was eating Skinny Cat's food.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's not. So, Skinny Cat still gets all the food she needs. And then Fat Cat's just getting the excess.
But yeah, she's not eating all the food. She's just having. All right, all right, all right. So okay,
Does this make sense?
no. So
Okay.
here's the thing. All right. So let me just put it to you this way: like, is the skinny cat eating less food than the fat cat?
No.
They are eating the exact same amount.
Well, Skinny Cat is getting what she needs.
Right, but you feed them both from the same bowl, right?
Correct. Yes.
But is the skinny cat eating less overall by compared to
Yeah, she is.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
All right,
okay,
all right.
okay. So we do have that there is a differential, yeah?
So we're just giving both of them too much food.
No. No, if the skinny cat is getting exactly what she needs, right?
Uh-huh. And then she
Okay.
walks away.
That's fine. But
Okay.
the other one is eating the excess,
All
right?
of it, yeah.
Right, right. So what you need to be doing is whatever the skinny cat eats is what you feed the fat cat.
Okay.
Right? So think about it like this, all right? Because I know this sounds, a little bit ridiculous, but it's true, right?
All right.
All right. So it's not about a one-time thing. Like if your cat got loose and I don't know why, she just decided to go in your freezer, go ahead and go in the microwave and make a pot pie or whatever, eat the whole goddamn thing, right? That's not gonna cause her any trouble, right? It's that if that fatter cat is eating a little bit more each day, right?
Uh-huh.
Then that's going to put her at a calorie surplus, right? And if you multiply that by how many days?
2 years.
2 years. Okay, so 2 years. All right, so 2 years times 2 years is like, so if it's 5 calories times 2 years, right? Basically, she's going to get another pound if ever probably like 3,000 excess calories. Right?
Okay. Yeah, sure.
So I think it's 3,500 actually. But I mean, so it's a small thing each day, right? So if you want to make life easier on her, then what you need to do is put her at like a 5 calorie deficit each day.
Okay.
Right? Where it's not something where you jump in there and say like, all right, cat, I have to make these drastic changes and say like, you get half of what you had before because we need to get you in shape this quickly.
Okay.
It's a small difference over an extended period of time, because then she won't even notice it.
Right, but that's if we fed them separately.
Well, it looks like you have to.
Maybe.
Because one is whatever the one's getting, right? That's exactly how much she needs, and that's what the other one needs. So you do that amount,
Yeah.
and then take a couple pieces out. That's it.
All right. I don't know, man. I was really nervous that Skinny Cat was not getting food.
You thought she was unhealthy.
Yeah, but apparently she is completely healthy and totally svelte.
Yeah.
So yeah, and so I guess the other one's just been eating all the excess.
Yeah. And think about it. I mean, in any kind of like natural system, that makes perfect sense. Like if there's extra food, why exactly would
Sure.
you let that go to
Right.
waste?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Even if it's in Cheetos form.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, yeah. All right. Okay. Well, anyway, it was good to take her to the vet. So, vet only got scratched once. We gotta take Fat Cat to the vet next week. So we got the gabapentin or whatever it is
Right.
to actually calm
Right.
that one down. So she's been hissing her sister all week.
For what?
Well, like
Just for fun?
I no, she's just like high stress.
Oh,
So yeah,
really? What's she
yeah.
stressed about?
So the like skinny cat Rosie went to the vet, came back totally fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, use the box, use like drink the water, stuff like that. But the other cat just hissing like crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so totally stressed. And I don't know, man. So we gotta take her in next week. So
Well, I mean, is that does she like I know that when some pets go to the doctor or the vet and they come back, right?
you got a different stink on them.
Exactly,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Especially like if you have two cats and one has to stay for like a week,
yeah.
right? They come
That's
back and it's
exactly what's going on.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So we're
Mm.
supposed to take them both at the same time, but the last time we did that, they just get like really murderous towards
Yeah.
each other. Yeah, exactly. And so we took one in, brought her back, and then that cat was fine. So, but the cat that remained home,
Yeah.
Chubby Garfield,
Yeah.
was like just absolutely like mad. So, like to the point in time, like I don't know if this. Well, you haven't had that many two multiple pets, but
Mm.
where they like block each other off. You know, it's like okay, you live in the kitchen.
Mm. Well, territorial then.
Exactly, very much so. So
All right, so I don't like you said, I don't have that much, experience with that.
it's just weird. Because they were
Especially
fine the week
yeah.
before. Yeah, yeah.
Well, you said yourself, man. They'll sit out there on the back window and hiss at mountain lions.
Anything.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I mean,
they'll hiss at squirrels. Yeah,
it looks like they are kind of protective of their
they
territory.
are.
So,
Yeah.
if somebody leaves and comes back and they're smelling like other cats and doctor and all that other shit, then it probably takes a minute for them to get back to understanding who they are.
Yeah.
I mean,
But they're related. So you'd think it'd be a little bit of crossover, but whatever.
I know, but I mean, this is the animal world, not the human world. I mean, you and I, obviously, there's a couple of things that we could do to verify each other's identities. If you went in the hospital, I'm like, show me your ID,
Right. Yeah.
say something.
Not gonna spray the door.
Exactly, yeah. What we don't do to check each other out is I don't like, give you a once over and sniff your fucking Irish Spring or whatever and say like, oh, that's Patrick.
Right, yeah.
Everything else is just, eyes, but for them that's huge is
Yeah.
verify that. I mean, that's why these idiots over here fucking sniff each other's anal glands because they're like, all right, this is your life and DNA and health check, right? All from right here. I can tell exactly who you are,
Right.
right? There's only a couple of dogs, only like three major breeds that have very good eyesight, and that's how they do their hunting and identifying. The rest of the dogs are fucking, they can see in the dark very well, but they don't see, they don't, really judge you by sight
Right.
that
Yeah.
well. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's usually scent.
Yeah. Yeah. I yeah, I get that. It's just weird having like cats who are sisters. And it just takes one weekend to fuck it all up.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
you're applying human rules to cats.
I know.
You
Yeah.
know,
I can't do it.
no, you can. You want to because the more that you live with an animal, the more human traits that you realize are in them, right?
Right. Yeah.
But they don't agree with them all. They don't pay taxes. They don't, yeah.
Yeah.
They don't sit there and get jealous. They don't sit there at 38 and just kind of sit outside on the porch and think about, I was going to be this when I was young, and
I was trying to get this house. Yeah.
they're not sitting there comparing their lives to where their parents were at that age and being like, oh, my dad had 2 kids by the time I was this age. They don't do that shit.
Yeah, but I get you on that one too. So I don't know, man. Went back last day. I actually shaved the entire dome.
Yeah.
It feels
wondered
good.
about that.
It feels good. Yeah.
The only thing that sucks about it is the amount of maintenance it takes.
So I told you this years ago. Like my wife, she's got lady razors, so they're fantastic for shaving your head. So they really are.
I believe you.
Yeah, they really are. And so it took like 2 swipes up and down today. Well, I had to use the clippers and stuff. But yeah, like I didn't realize how bald I had gotten.
That's rough, isn't it?
Yeah.
What are we gonna do, man? Look, we
Well, it's like up here on the pate. Like especially like you shave everything else off the sides and stuff. Yeah, I know. It's like, oh my god, I'm getting gray. But then it's like, actually no, it's just thin. Yeah.
you can see more of the scalp. I know.
Correct.
I know.
So, but I figured we kick off a new semester with a clean pate. So
Well, it's weird because you and I both have a sibling that has wonderful hair. So
that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Saw my brother tonight. It's fucking disgusting.
all that hair he's got. Yeah.
Oh, it's right on the top of the crown too. Man.
Yeah.
Just like your brother. So
Yep.
thing is, when I shaved it all off tonight too, there's like edges that were really silver, and I was like,
Oh yeah.
"Ugh, fuck." Yeah.
We're not kids, man. That's part of the
Yeah.
that's part of the story here. And I don't think
It just
any of
is
us.
what it is.
Yeah, I don't think any of us are vain enough to say that we'd better, just for men the little bit we have left.
Oh no, it's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, man. It was just one of those things. So, because I had let it go for about 8 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then, shaving the sides and then shaving the top, it was like the lawnmower was working a little bit harder on the side.
I hear that. Yeah, I guess. So the question I have for you is, like you said, you'd let that go for about 8 weeks, right? So
It was about 2 months, yeah.
how how fast does your hair grow on the top of your head? If that was
On the top?
if that was
Oh,
2
God,
months,
it's like-
then
It's paleontology.
all right, yeah, because
Yeah.
that's the
So it's like plate tectonics on the top. On the sides, fine. So the temperate zones, cool.
See, I've got to get it about once every 2 days, or it starts getting long. So
See, I don't mind it too much. I kind of like the carny. So,
Yeah.
where it's like just a little bit buzzy. But, yeah, man. I mean, I shaved it off today and there was a whole bunch of gray in that sink. So,
yeah, gray hair. That's who you are. Was your dad kind of gray at your age?
on the sides, yeah.
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 There you go.
And just had like little wisps on the top.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
It's dignified, man.
I suppose, man. It just reminds me of him. So,
Isn't that a good thing?
no, it's fine. So, it's just like, I got you.
Well, what are you doing? You trying to
I kind of
pretend?
understand him now.
What are you doing? You trying to
But my
pretend that
dad
you're
always
30?
got his hair cut at the BX, man. So you get a little wispy on the sides. And actually, the thing that I notice now, and fuck this podcast, man.
Oh.
So, but it's on the eyebrows now, man.
Yeah.
They're getting like long and angry and wispy and Gandalfy.
I told this. All right,
I
so
can't like
I
I
share.
can't reconcile the fact that I'm not my dad, but it's happening. So
Look, my dad had thinner hair at my age, but he still had it, right? I mean,
your dad had a beard too.
well,
So
he did, but you know, the I don't know. I told this story. Okay, so I was sharing this with Marina the other day. We were talking. She was kind of complaining about her husband's haircuts, right? About how obviously
long,
these.
greasy, and Russian, or
Well, no, no, not at all.
okay.
It's even though these people are doing very, very well for themselves, right? They were talking about the cost of haircuts, and she was explaining like when they met. She's like, the way she said it, she's like, he used to go to this, as she said it, shitty Vietnamese place where the where the woman's hands were shaking as she was cutting her hair.
What
But
was starvation?
the cause I don't know, but I presume that had to do with shitty Vietnamese place. So it could be malnutrition. It could be I don't know feline AIDS. It could be whatever. I don't know. I don't know. It's
Fades.
yeah. But she was saying, but it was worth it because the haircut was like 1995, right? And so she was explaining that no, I want you to please spend more. Go to a better place. As a matter of fact,
What to you?
no, to her husband,
Oh,
right?
okay.
So she's like, all right, so I want you to. I found a place for you. It's like, here, it's only $75, and my eyes got wide as fucking dinner saucers, and I was like, for a haircut, and she's like, no, it's a great place. I found a great gay dude that's gonna cut his hair and all this other stuff, and that was the thing was he hit that mark where he's like, well, I don't see $75 worth of haircut in this,
Okay.
right? So I'm gonna try and find a happy medium where I'll get a $35 haircut, right?
Right.
Somewhere in between.
From a Vietnamese place, yeah.
Well, the Vietnamese place is like $20. But he's like, I'll find a happy place in the medium. And she's like, and it turned out that the haircut sucked for $35. So instead of upping to the 75, he went back to the shitty Vietnamese place for $20. And I was like, I was trying to explain, like, look, I can't really relate to his situation, right? I'm like, let me explain what happened to me, right? Is so my mother, after being an electrical engineer and going to all those years of college, said,
Started cutting hair.
I'm going to cut hair, right? I was like, now, when you have your hair cut by your mother, right, you can't go sit down in the chair. It's like, because you got to remember, I was like, I'm trying to explain, like, I had hair once. You understand that, right? It was like, the thing was, when your mother cuts your hair, she has a mother's perspective, right? She's not,
Trying to like zhuzh you up for the next interview.
well, sort of, right?
Right,
She
yeah.
has her own ideas that she wouldn't take with one of her like a different client. I mean, she was
Got it.
working at
Yeah,
the
yeah.
the so she's gonna play these sort of like saves. It's like, why don't we feather this out? It's like, we need to park this right here, whatever.
Sure.
Whatever goofy old things. And I was like, but then
Where does your natural part fall?
right down the middle.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
Well,
Sucks.
most Asians do. It's just they have the fucking zipper that comes down.
Irish,
It's,
but
yeah,
yeah,
but-
it's the same thing. Happens.
yeah, I can
Yeah,
see that.
yeah.
But so then I explained, I was like, but you got to understand that once I started hitting like that point in my 30s where the loss was, starting to come in, and it's like, well, this is not growing back. I don't have like 5 rows of teeth like a shark, but for hair. Like, this is all going. I'm not going to get surgery on it. So that's where I was like, well, so then the hairstyle changed because I was trying to hide the loss. She's like, what do you mean? I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go to the shitty Vietnamese place because I'm gonna go in there and say, give me a number 2 all around.
Right.
Anybody
Yeah.
can do this.
Yeah.
Right. And then shortly afterwards, because more hair was falling out, I said, give me the number one all around. And then after I got the number one, I said, why do I need the shitty Vietnamese person?
Right.
Because I can just go on to
Carney haircut. Yeah.
Well, so I bought the clippers,
Uh-huh.
right, to get the number one. I could do that anytime I wanted.
And got the Stanley clippers.
Exactly,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
Or the wall, whatever it is that you want
I
to get.
got the wall.
We got the wall.
Yep.
And then at that final point where I said, well, I don't need the clippers, I need the Dollar Shave Club. So I get the regular thing. So what you need to look out for is go to your husband's YouTube feed. Like, go to his history and just check and see if he's been YouTubing videos on how to cut your own hair, right? Because
yeah.
because I think he's thinking about it.
You're not wrong. So I got introduced to like the Dollar Shave Club.
Yeah.
I don't do that, but it was when my wife went through cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember the night that it was time because she was losing hair in clumps and stuff.
Yeah.
She used to have really long hair.
Yeah.
So my father-in-law, like, he brought the wall over, and then that night I was converted. So yeah. So I still like the little bit of buzz. I don't like the clean, completely clean.
Sure.
Yeah. So I like the carny.
Yeah.
A little bit. So because it just kind of reminds me of what was there, but it worked out pretty good. So I don't know, man. Everybody travel your own path.
That's kind of it.
Yeah.
We all have our individual hair journey.
Correct.
And I and to me, like when I heard like $75 for a men's haircut, it's like, are you nuts? She's like, well, what? It's like,
So what kind of razor do you use?
it's
Just a
a
Bic?
4-blade Dollar Shave Club.
Got it. Yeah.
I've tried just about every kind out there. There's a couple that are fine. There are some that are shitty. Never ever get one of the like single blade Bic things.
I got nicked.
That thing will.
Yeah.
That'll leave divots like a bad golfer.
Correct. Yes.
And
Yeah.
Jesus. And
Yeah.
nothing bleeds like the head bleeds.
Oh no, they don't heal.
Like it's pouring out. You just
Yeah.
now, of course, that's the consequence. But yeah, then she's like, well, my hair costs $300 to do. I'm like, $300?
What the fuck? Really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, yay, California.
That's what, and again, I'm like, well, I'm not. I guess that's the thing. I'm not judging, women for their hair, and let me explain why. Right.
Sure.
This is the thing that I think is kind of unusual because it's like I've seen girls spend like tons on hair and makeup, and I'm like a lot, right?
A lot.
And I understand that for guys, we'd happily. I was like, look. Society has said it's okay for me with my head completely shaved, right? I only need 90 seconds to wake up and then get where I am and I look fine.
Scrub it down. Yeah.
Yep. That's totally
Use
fine.
the thingy, the loofah.
Or whatever. Yeah. Just wash your face and you're ready to go.
Correct.
Right?
Yep. Off you go.
You, on the other hand, was like with women, I was like, number one, it seems like society doesn't accept the fact that you age. It doesn't accept the fact that you have to, no matter what you do, right? Your
hair has to be perfectly clean.
Perfectly clean. Yep. You have to put on makeup to look like you don't have makeup on.
Yes. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I was like, so think about the accumulated parts of every single day where I can get up at 7:57 and be fine. You have to be up an hour and 15 minutes before me to start getting ready. I'm like, so why am I gonna judge you for getting an expensive haircut? I was like, I don't care,
bro.
It's
like the first couple of years I was
right.
married, that was like the weirdest thing, where my wife took like 45 minutes to get ready, and then it was an hour, and then it was an hour and a half later.
It seems unfair.
Totally, yeah. And then after I started shaving my head, it was like I can be ready in 7.5 minutes.
Yes. It's like I have one priority. Yeah. It's like I gotta brush my teeth. I can shit at work.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. You scrub out the pits, and I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
or not, and then I'll do it tomorrow extra hard.
or you Japanese it and you take a shower the night before.
Correct. Yeah. So the funny thing is, like with my daughter now, so she's 12,
Yeah.
and she's going through a lot of this stuff where pores produce extra things
Yes.
and stuff like that. You know,
You don't want to be the stinky kid.
you don't want to be stinky kid. You don't want to be the one who has a grease patch on your hair, kind of thing. So, but the further you grow it out, the more maintenance that takes.
Yes.
So, yeah, no, totally get it. And, like, I don't know, man. When I was that age, it was fine. It's like, all right, scrub my face down. Hopefully, it doesn't break out by the end of the day.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Some of that.
And
you have a certain amount of control over that.
Correct. Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the other part of that I think is people don't understand too, because like if you or I, if we need to take a shower, right, and we mean, all right, it's 7:55, you have to be out of the shower by 8, no problem.
No problem.
Because I don't have hair that goes down to the middle of my back.
No.
I don't have to contend with any of that shit, right?
Wash your shoulder hairs.
I'm not even flexible enough to shave those,
Yeah,
man.
it's
I mean,
fine.
that's the... Yeah, if you jump in there and it needs to be done, you can just...
Yep, done. Off.
In and out of there,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
5 minutes,
Yeah.
right? And to the point where a shower doesn't seem like laborious because you're like, shit, I got all this hair. I got, like, the two parts of it where...
It's just like walking through the car wash. It's fine. Yeah.
If that, man,
yeah.
if that would be if I could go into the car wash and there was a button that you could say like, do you want, good car wash or do you want
Undercarriage.
Well, there's undercarriage, but also it's like if instead of waiting for the wands to come to you, right? If you controlled the speed of the wands like with a remote control,
Max speed.
Yes.
Just lean into it. Yeah.
But I mean, that's the other thing is no woman in there is going to be like, oh, okay, well, shampoo plus conditioner in one, no problem, right? They're going to like,
Right. Yeah. They want the clean coat. Yeah.
they want the clean coat.
Yeah.
They want to use the conditioner so their hair doesn't get all fucking ratty. They don't want to,
And that's the thing. Yeah.
I
mean, you used to have really long hair.
it was a pain in the ass.
Yeah, exactly. I never got mine that long. So
It was pretty long though. I mean, because you wore it around the top of your head, man.
I had a mullet, man.
Yeah, went all the way around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty gnarly. So
We were boys. That's the other thing is boys get sort of a free pass on
right.
like gnarliness. It's something that comes across as somehow manly. Again, and I'm not even going to touch on the whole concept of high heels. I'm like, I understand.
High heels?
Yes, I understand a lot of you like to wear these, but this seems like torture to me.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah?
They're so narrow too.
Oh yeah.
No.
Yeah. And I get it. Like, my mother always wore them. She liked the way that they looked and that kind of stuff. I'm like, it's just like, this doesn't seem fair at all. Now, that being said, on the flip side, there are certain benefits that you get to being a female. So there's way that things are you're going to be treated like, and that's totally fine. I think in the grand scheme of things, right, I think they even out. I think they do. I think they even out. I think there's a certain amount of, like, you don't have to worry about, you generally don't have to worry about, like, guys squaring up on you or anything like that.
Okay. Yeah.
Generally, yes, there are certain circumstances, but, I mean, we're talking about parts per million here. We're not talking about,
right, yeah.
And if you're in that position, I'm very sorry for you, but, it's just...
It happens.
It's just like cosmically, it sort of balances out over time. But it's not shit that I could handle.
No, me neither. So I was not born with the right gonads for that. So, I don't know, man. Watching my daughter go through it is interesting. So
Yeah?
it is.
What are your observations so far?
She's very careful about her appearance.
Okay.
So she's very guarded about it. So there's a certain level of being a like 12 or 13-year-old boy where there's I don't give a fuck. Brr.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which doesn't really hold true if you're a girl. So
Unless that is your personality, but I mean that's also rare.
it is, but it's also like, do you give a shit about it? And
That's the
so, like,
question. Is
yeah,
are
no,
you
she kind of gives a shit about it.
exactly?
So,
It's
yeah,
like, are you that, or are you just saying that? Because that's sort
correct.
of a
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, it's totally different. So, and then part of her like thing is she's skinny,
Hmm.
so that makes it harder in some respects at this
You
age.
think so?
I think so. So, she can't flesh out like a boy can.
Yeah, but I bet you she can climb a fence like super fast.
I don't know. I haven't asked.
I don't know why
yeah,
that's
yeah,
the
yeah.
singular metric
Right,
that
yeah,
I'm like.
exactly. So like, hey, dogs are chasing you. Run, 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 run. What are you gonna do? So, but still, at the same point in time, I mean, it's like also like you get to that point in time. I never experienced this as a boy. So, but when people start looking at you,
like that?
yeah, I don't get that.
No, ask my brother.
Well, okay.
Not about when he was in high school,
Right, yeah, but that's like
but
that's sliding the rule down that end. Yeah,
no.
I don't
Well,
know.
he's the closest like analogy that I can look at right now in terms of, um, he is in that 5% of people that gets
He
attention
is.
on,
He
right?
is.
So
Well, not only does your brother have that, but he's got battle stars.
he
So
does,
yeah, he
yeah,
does, and so people like suss that out real quick. So yeah,
yeah,
yeah, they really do. It's like, wait a minute, you got two kids, and oh, they're in little league.
yeah.
Yeah, they're not in jail. Got it.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
Wait, you like these kids? They
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you?
exactly. How
Um,
many lawnmowers do you own? Yeah, so he's in a different spot. So,
no, as far as
but
the,
having a 13-year-old girl is different. So,
I'd imagine, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it's getting a little wiggy, man. So, I gotta be honest with you on that. I don't know how to handle that.
I don't think you're supposed to know.
I don't know. Yeah,
I think
yeah,
there's
yeah.
a fair amount of this that you turn to, like, woman, can you address this?
No, it's more like I need more weapons.
You don't know how to
So,
fight this fight, man. You're. They know the terrain too well. This is something that
I know, but like, yeah, somebody who's been there before, they're like, yeah, weapons are good.
I mean, at least approach this for guidance, because I mean, you obviously can't presume to know. Like, you could read a book. You could say, like,
I don't know,
honey,
man. I just gotta wing this one, man. And so, if any dude approaches my daughter with any kind of malevolent intent, I think I can suss it out, and I have weapons.
I'm sure that you can. It's just,
I don't want like anybody dating my daughter who doesn't think that her dad can't wield a machete. So,
all right.
yeah.
Okay, okay. The problem, Patrick, I know you, right? So this may be so first impressions may count for a lot here. The problem here is that you do not come across as, if you own a machete, I don't know about your willingness to use it.
In defense of my daughter, I don't know about that.
Well, that's the thing
Yeah, right.
is okay, so
Should I just get like more guns? I don't know.
no, what I'm saying here is the people that you're looking at, like, this boy could machete me, right? Usually have like an MS-13 tattoo above their eyeball, right? Or some.
That guy needs a 45 round.
I
Between
agree,
both,
right?
yeah,
So when you're
yeah.
looking at the people that have that, is usually some kind of like physically imposing,
I am not that.
some
Yeah.
kind of tell that says, okay, this person is.
I just need to put out a tell there, like I am totally fucking all in. So right, yeah. I don't know how to do that. So
Well,
because I'm not gonna hit the guy, I'm just gonna fucking shoot him. So
well, again, okay. So, how do you communicate non-verbally? Because obviously that's a threat. You obviously can't go in there and say like, "I will shoot you." How do you
I
communicate non-verbally that?
I don't know, man.
Well,
I
so
was in the Marine Corps, so I can't have a
exactly
tattoo.
right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, how's your arm feeling?
It's pretty noodly, but this is my left arm. I shoot with my right arm. So
I'm
yeah.
just saying, like, so the other thing is like, lift weights. You can, obviously. So we've
I need a whole bunch of marksman like trophies.
there's that.
Yeah.
That's again. This is something that
I just want somebody to know that like, okay, I get a great life. I'm a professor. I'm sad for a long time. But if you fuck with my daughter, I will go to prison over your corpse. So
you don't communicate. You don't physically communicate that. You would have to say that.
well maybe I should just say it
Well,
then.
then just say it.
Yeah, okay.
Right. If that's your thing,
Yeah, okay. It's
right?
like, hey, I won't survive in prison, but I'll do it for you. I don't know, man. So I gotta put up some gun racks in my house or something. I don't know. I need to start buying landmines. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Again, I don't know if that suits you, man. I just
It
just
probably
it's a
doesn't,
very.
man. I mean, I can't sick my wife on you. She's a lawyer. So I was like, yeah, we'll
I'd be
hound
afraid
you.
of that.
Yeah, but that depends on the guy. So I don't know.
Well, it depends
So
on
like my father-in-law was a biker.
he was a
So
biker and a
he was a
very
biker.
physically imposing man.
Well, he's 6'4".
Yeah.
Well, he was. Now he's shrunk
Time makes
down
fools
to
of us all.
right. Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Mhm.
Not wrong. So
Yeah.
yeah, but I don't know. Maybe I should just like learn how to spin my guns a little bit better. I don't know.
Just don't focus on that angle. It doesn't. It's not going to work. It's going to come across as phony, right?
Okay.
Because that's not you.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I don't know. Maybe we need more battery cables and stuff.
It's not you. You don't have that. You're not threatening. Just accept the
I
fact
am
that you're
not.
not
I'm not
threatening.
threatening. So, which should make me dangerous if I actually am all in on something. I don't know. So,
Okay. The only other thing that would work for you would be if you had like sort of like intermittent, like you would have to have some kind of like intermittent explosions.
oh, like just bursts of anger.
Right. This is the kind of thing that makes you say like, all right, I don't know what's going to set him off. Right. But as it stands, like there's a couple of things when it comes down to it. Let me ask you this, Patrick. What are the things that make you say that make you feel safe around a person?
Make me feel safe?
Yes. What are the qualities that would make you feel safe around a person?
Uh, ooh, that's a good question. I don't know.
Well, all right. So I would say, generally speaking, number one is consistency, right? So
Oh,
that
okay. Yeah, sure.
if people are consistent, which you are, right?
Right.
And that also goes into like so safe around a person would be that they have a clean place, right? There's no needles. I mean, this it's like just things that you would say like, okay, this person like they have a steady job, they have right
Right, yeah.
all these things that you do. I mean, your shirt is tucked in right now, so I mean,
Yeah.
like, when it comes down to it, all those things that would make somebody feel safe, you exemplify that, right?
I guess, yeah. So there's like this element of like people who are willing to put all of that on the line for something. So
Right,
that's when it's like, oh, fuck, you're serious.
right.
Right, yeah.
So the thing about you, right? The thing that would make somebody give pause is like if you had a story, that also like went against that. You're like, So if you had a part that's like, well, so this is my life now, but a while ago I did time, right? There's something where it's
Right,
like
yeah.
something that says, all right,
Well, that means you earned it. Yeah.
you have the capacity in you to have. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you're completely normal and then you're out of marshmallows and you flip off the fucking handle, right?
Well,
They're
that's
like,
a little bit
okay,
much. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
but if I piss this guy off, he's gonna go nuts.
Well, and see, that's like, I think that's my defense right there.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, all right, so I have this great life. I have all this. I have cars. I have a house,
Right.
and stuff like that. But if you do this, all that's on the table, and I will fucking slit your throat. So,
You said, like, again, like, I'm not fighting you on this. What I'm trying to say, like, when that dude scraped your car, right?
well,
I was
that's
with
just
you.
my car, man.
I was like, what are you doing? We need to go out there and go kick that guy's ass. It wasn't even my car, right?
In my 1500cc Corolla, yeah.
Chase him down. Let's see what happens. I mean, this is the thing.
Right, yeah. So I guess you have to push me over an edge,
What is that edge?
I don't know,
Nobody's
man.
seen it.
Like, so some fucker like actually like hurts my daughter.
So let me put it this way. All right. So let's say your daughter. You said she's 12. She's 13.
She's 12.
12. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's pretend that you're okay, you were most recently in Michigan. Okay, whatever. So you're on vacation and you're on the boardwalk or something, and there's some dude that he's like 14, right? And he thinks he's a cool guy, or he's like 16, right? And he starts like eyeballing or like making catcalls towards your daughter, right? What are you gonna do?
I don't know.
Are you gonna approach it? You're gonna say like walk on by, right? Just like ignore him, or are you?
Well,
gonna...
I don't have the muscle to be able to do that. I don't know.
He's 16.
Yeah, but I don't know who his dad is.
Fuck that. That's the thing is,
Yeah, okay.
right?
Yeah.
So if some 16-year-old is saying some shit like, all right, I'll flip that around, right? Would your mother tell your daughter to keep walking, or would she go over there and get up in his face?
Oh, my wife? Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, as dad, right, there's this thing. It was like, all right, so that's the safe part. I was like, hey, ignore him, honey. This is just stupid.
That would probably be me. Yeah.
I know you would,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, that would
But
be me.
having that part where you jump over, says, you fucking said what to my daughter? It's like, it's like, you
No,
keep
no,
walking.
no,
I'm going to go straighten this asshole
No,
out.
man, I don't have that Goomba on me. So, yeah. Just like,
Right.
fuck off, kind
So
of thing.
if you don't have the Goomba, right, then ultimately...
Yeah, but if somebody actually did something to my daughter, I'd probably go nuclear. So...
Right, but how can you broadcast that if you don't do anything that suggests that you would do
I don't
that?
know if I need to. So...
Well, this is what it sounds like you want, is some kind
No,
of
I don't want
projection
to do
of
anything.
power.
No, I don't want that. I don't want her to get in a situation like that.
Nobody does.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But it sounds like what you were talking about was some kind of...
So, but if somebody
So-
got involved with my daughter in the future, it was actually beating her and stuff.
Well, no, you let me handle it because you have a real job.
No, bro, I'd probably go machete that dude. So, and I'd call it good. So,
I get that. I get that.
yeah, no, there's like a fine line there where it's kind of like, okay, yeah, all right, I'd rather have you have a better life than me live the rest of my life, mine. So, I don't know. I don't know about that. So,
Well, I have no doubts that if pushed to that point, you could do that, right?
I would totally do that.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
You're saying that, but you got a couple of beers in you. I mean, this is the
Yeah,
thing.
fair
It's
enough.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, we're all a teensy bit braver at that point. But I mean, that's the thing is,
Well, I'd have to do that before I went and did that. So, yeah.
well, yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
this is sort of a tough thing here. Is like, you still got to provide for this kid. You still have to,
I don't know, man. I'm a little bit worried about her when she's 25. Gets involved in something like that. So,
Yeah, you don't have any control over
correct.
that. Man.
Yeah. I don't know if I'll have control over myself at that point in time. So, we'll see. So,
Yeah, you're gonna cross that bridge eventually, but I mean, that's the
no, hopefully not. So, yeah.
Well, not to that. Look, man. Eventually, you're gonna get to a point where she's okay. So she's getting closer to 16, right? She's a good kid.
Yeah.
To me, it doesn't sound like she's ever been in any kind of real trouble in terms of like you did what?
No, not to my
You
knowledge.
burned this down. You did this. I don't think she's had any incidents like that. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
So that means like at this point you can trust her generally to make all these smart decisions. But eventually she's going to be turning 16 and 17, right? And what's
Yeah,
going to
sure.
happen is she's like eventually going to say like, yeah, I'm sleeping over at Jenny's house, and then you're going to find out she went to a concert. What are you going to do?
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Is
Well, yeah, no, it turned to her mother at that point in time because that's what she did. So it worked out fine.
Well, that's what I'm saying
Yeah,
here
yeah,
is
yeah,
is
yeah.
that take that and then multiply that by 100 when she turns 18 and 19 and 20 and 25, right?
Yeah,
Because at that point she won't even have you looking over her shoulder.
correct.
Right?
Yeah.
So, if you think about that, are you okay to be like, hey, you live your life, I know that you make mistakes, whatever, or are you gonna flip out?
2 point yes, unless you actually ask for help. So that'll be a different story then.
Well,
Hopefully that won't happen. So, but
Probably
it does. Yeah. No.
something like that is gonna happen. Something dumb like that.
Eventually.
Because kids are
Yeah.
dumb. Kids, they have to make mistakes. That's what they do.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know, man. It's just weird. So
Yeah.
yeah. No, my dad never had to do anything like that for me. So who
Well,
knows? But my father-in-law did for one of my sister-in-laws. So
no, because there was some kind of
yeah.
yeah.
So yeah.
Now that being said, doesn't your wife's family have like cops in the?
Yeah, but this was not at that level. So
Yeah.
yeah. That would be the first place to go. So yeah. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. But what?
Maybe,
Was
you
it
never
on your
know.
mind? You've been thinking about this?
No, not really. Yeah, no. No, man. I've been watching politics this week.
Why would you do that?
I don't know, man. It's like popcorn time. So
Yeah.
it's been fun lately.
Yeah, you're talking about like Iowa, that kind of thing.
Iowa's interesting. So fucking murdered all the competition off there.
Never won by such a wide margin.
Yeah, but smaller turnout than usual.
It was cold.
Right, yeah, it was freezing. So
But that being said, I don't know if that would have impacted the,
probably not.
given the fact that he won every county except for one and only lost
By
by
a
one
point,
point.
by one vote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's pretty clear what the people want.
Yeah, probably. So yeah, there was a lot of interesting stuff that came out the next day on that. Yeah. So I'm watching a couple guys here calling Nikki Haley for the VP spot. I think
No
they're
way.
well, I think they're wrong about that, but they have a little conspiracy theory going on that this was actually kind of arranged behind the scenes. So we'll see.
Well, they're definitely not endorsing each other.
No, but that's kind of the gist of the conspiracy theory. So just trying to like freaking thoroughly torpedo DeSantis. I don't know about this. So
Well, all right. So I don't think torpedoing DeSantis is necessary. And again, this is nothing against the
Right.
man. He would have been my candidate number one.
absolutely.
But the fact is that Trump's momentum it's on its own. You don't have to
It is.
do anything. This is all organic. I know it sounds ridiculous, but this is all organic.
Well, you latch onto it or you don't. So yeah.
Now the Nikki Haley thing is not, and I don't mean that in a particularly evil or mean way. It's just that yes, that we've talked about this here, and There is a lot of Democrat money going into where
There is.
because,
Yeah.
frankly, their take on this is they think that she'll be easier to beat. Now, um,
Well, I've seen the same thing with Trump too. So I don't think that's actually true though.
why would it be? This is a person that's already won.
I don't know though, man. I mean, it's like soccer moms and stuff like that. So we're gonna have to wait until May or June to actually see good polling on this. So Iowa is not a good sample just because it was so small. So
It is, but I mean, the overwhelming victory there is pretty much that's all I need to know.
no, he's got it. So
Yeah.
even if Nikki Haley takes New Hampshire, it won't matter because she'll get crushed in South Carolina.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. So we're gonna have to wait and see here a little bit. Biden is imploding. So on his side. So fucking Hamas fuckers are actively, like they call him Genocide Joe now.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, but they're not going to get another candidate out of it. So there's no way those votes go anywhere. Maybe to, well, they can't even go to RFK Jr. So
No.
where he stands.
No.
So they're just pissed in the wind. So
No, and the problem here is that Biden basically has no real leg to stand on in this issue, right? Because
in what issue?
with Israel, right? Because he
Well, Netanyahu kicked out the feet underneath the chair on that one. So
well, let's say that he'd made a decisive decision at some point, right? At
Who?
least he'd have
Joe?
Biden, yeah,
about what?
about what the official approach would be with the situation. Like, if let's say, for example, that he'd made a hard stand and said like, "Hey, let's call for peace," or if he,
It's going that direction, but yeah,
but that's what I'm saying.
it's too late.
Going that direction is not a hard stand. He
Right.
can't go on
Yeah,
that.
right.
Nor did he at some point say like, "Go get him," right? Because
Right.
either way, that would be a position that you could have taken. But because he
Right.
walked the line, there's nothing that he can do on this except
No.
fucking get eaten alive by it.
He's in a bad spot. Yeah, he's a bad spot. I don't really think it's actually his fault. So,
Why? He's the president.
well, I get that, but like, all right. So initially, he came out in complete support of Netanyahu on this stuff, who is not a faithful actor on a lot of things. So
Yeah, he's somewhere. From talking to Israelis, there were mixed opinions.
right, yeah,
About it.
exactly. And so you're putting your foot on a two-legged stool already. So with that one,
Yeah.
yeah. So, but I don't know. I don't know exactly what else he could have done that was better. So first of all, Israel doesn't rely on us that much for like any kind of support. So
Not really.
no, not really. So they are way strong enough to do whatever the fuck they want to do. So Hamas turned over the chip to them where, okay, so this turn-based strategy here, it's your turn. And
Yeah.
they are like getting fucking slaughtered on this end.
Hamas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like, I mean, being president is fucking hard. So and this one, I don't know exactly how you go different than what Biden did.
I can tell you what you do. You actually go out there and you make a stand on something. I mean,
Well, that's
That-
fine, man. But like, you don't have Congress behind you on this. So what the fuck do you do? So I mean, like, you say something and maybe they're rallying around you, maybe not. I don't know, man. He's in a bad spot. It's gonna fuck him alive. So, but really, when it comes down to it, I mean, Israel's gonna do what they're gonna do. So
they're gonna do what they're
let them
gonna
do
do.
that.
But
Yeah.
okay, and you can say that. This is all right. So I'm not gonna cut any slack for somebody again who's been on vacation for 40% of his term.
Fair
right?
enough. Yeah, you keep using that stat, but what the fuck else are you gonna do?
Be a
So
president. Look,
to
man.
be a president, what does that mean? So you say, "Oh, we stand 100% behind Israel." That's what he said the first couple of weeks.
And then
So,
he backed off it.
well, yeah, because he doesn't have the support in Congress in order to be able to do anything about it.
Fuck him. That's the thing is,
Well, no, not fuck them. They were the ones who signed the checks. So,
bro. Okay, so you're asking. All right, this is the problem that you're talking about here because you're saying like, what is he supposed to do? Well, you take a stand on something. Eventually, look.
yeah,
I understand that it's a question of like doesn't have the support on this or whatever the case may
sure.
be, right?
Yeah,
But
rally that.
if that's actually a moral imperative for you, then you have to stand on it.
Well, I don't know if it is a moral imperative. So,
This
I mean,
is the issue, right?
well, I mean, it's like the issue with the entire Middle East. I mean, like, okay, so where are we going to stand on principle on this? So, I don't know. So we did that for 25 fucking years, and like it didn't work out in the long run. So,
Totally understand.
yeah.
Then that means then on the first day, if you're just looking at it pragmatically, right? If
Okay.
you just took a pragmatic approach and said like, all right, well then taking a hard stand on this for 25 years wasn't the right approach, then you go out there and your first approach is like, hey, it's a them issue, not an us issue,
Okay, fair.
right?
Yeah.
Which isn't what happened.
No, it didn't.
Okay, so
yeah.
what I'm gonna say here is the same suspicion that I've always had is his presidency is determined by the committee that he's around with, right?
Yeah,
Otherwise,
fair enough.
he'd
Yeah.
be getting involved instead of like hanging out on the fucking beach for half his term
Yeah.
and jumping in and saying like this is what I believe.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong on that.
So if you
I-
want to be
I'll
a
give you
president, get your face out there, say what you mean, or say like, hey, not a problem.
Yeah, I just don't know if he knows where he stands on it. So I have no idea. So none of us do because he doesn't talk to anybody.
Well,
Yep,
that's
yep,
your
yep.
answer. That's your answer. Is if he doesn't talk to anybody, then he doesn't stand anywhere. Because I have to look at what a person does, not what they,
Sure,
say.
yeah.
And what he does is retract.
Yeah.
And if I'm going to judge anything by that, it's like you don't know shit.
But to be fair, we haven't seen Donald Trump say anything about it one way or the other.
No, he is.
What?
It's
Where's he at?
in terms of like who he
Gaza.
support.
Yeah.
As of right now, like I mean, he's talked about it. It hasn't been that strong, but
Right.
it's basically his argument is like, I'd find a way to make peace over there.
Well, he can say
But
whatever
he says
wants
that
to
all
say.
day long,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
That's what I'm saying. At least it's the same thing he said about Ukraine,
Right.
Right.
Yeah. I'll fix it. No
Right.
problem.
right? So,
Yeah, and see, that's the one thing that, like,
but that's always been his approach: is I'll fix it.
yeah,
But at least it's an answer.
well, maybe. So, I don't know, man. I watched this thing the other night, and it was just like, I forgot how much that dude lies. So, and how much, like, is accurate. So, like, he's telling the truth where he stands, but then he, like, totally, like, oh, it was the best economy ever, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, that's not true, man. So stop that. So it was like the border was the most scary ever. And it's like, that's not true either. So, like, he's like his hyperbole is, it's just it's granted, it's not a variable, so it's a constant. So
Yeah.
and it's like, actually get back to that thing where you're talking about like bringing jobs back. That'd be great. Don't talk about like how things were the best ever. They weren't the best ever. So stop that. I don't know. I watched this like thing in Iowa the other night. And it was just like, oh yeah, that's why I don't like you. So you gotta, you're not the best ever, man, but you can do good. So just, I don't know.
Well, okay, I don't particularly like the guy either. Again, this is
Yeah.
I think I've made this clear is this would not be my number one choice. As a matter of fact,
Sure.
last time around, if anything, I didn't want to vote for either of these people. This is
No, you were straight up on that.
it's a question of I got into this debate a little bit the other day of should I have to vote between, it's always like the lesser of two evils, like But I don't necessarily want to endorse either one of these things. I feel like in some ways my better, political statement is to say like, no, come up with somebody that I'm actually interested in,
Sure.
and I'll follow that. But because again, this is like the same argument that I used with William in those goddamn Marvel movies. Is like, you admit that these things are falling off a cliff, but you are still willing to pay to see them.
Sure.
Ergo, your tacit endorsement says keep doing this.
Right.
Right. Things will not change until you take the money away. And obviously, I don't look. I know who Donald Trump is. He's a person that
He's a known quantity now. Yeah.
he's a known quantity. I know his personality. It's again, you're a person that from the time that you were born, everything has worked. Right. Look,
Right.
it's true. Everything has worked. So you and I both know you don't change strategies while things are working. It's only when you turn around and say, like, all right, well, this was an abject failure. I have to review and do this, So everything that he does is like, well, it's the right decision because it's always worked.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's just his general attitude, right? What do I have on the flip side right now? I have somebody
that's
that
bad.
I have somebody that I have no idea where they really stand on anything because they let all of their fucking people go ahead and do all the talking for them, right? They don't field questions, right? They just walk away, which would be intolerable for any other president.
Well, George W. Bush did
Never
that.
get away with
George
that.
W. Bush did quite a bit of that. So, I mean, but Biden's in the same mold there. So, I'm not quite convinced yet. I'm convincible, but I'm not quite convinced yet that he is out of control.
Biden?
Yeah.
I don't think he's out of control. I don't think he has control of anything. Like if you
Well,
look
I
at
think he does. I think he's got control over certain policies, which are big headline deals for him. I think there's a lot of people in his administration. I don't think they're all bad. So I really don't. Like Anthony Blinken, I think he's actually trying to do great, like good work. So
via what? What's his avenue towards trying to do good work?
I think he's actually kept a lid on the Ukraine thing pretty well. So I really do. So, I mean, I get it. So we can turn around and go round and round bouts about this. So, but I do believe that Putin is a malevolent actor. So I really do.
I have no reason not to believe that.
Yeah.
A history of his behavior sort of
Yeah.
confirms that.
I think they've done a pretty good job actually corralling that guy in some respects. With what they can work with, so to speak. So, I think he's done a good job of actually turning NATO and the EU around. Actually realize, like, hey, you can't just, like, fucking free ride. So, you got this dude over here who's got, like, bad intentions. So, yeah. So,
Okay.
I think he's done a good job with that. So I don't know about the FBI stuff and things like that. I have no idea. So there might be shenanigans going on there, probably.
Well, there's documented shenanigans. There's
Right.
a lot
Yeah. There's
of-
documented shenanigans. I don't know if that's like this like thin skin on top of the FBI that's actually trying to do that in order to maintain their jobs. Does that actually like permeate down through the entire organization? I don't know. So I don't know that, man. I don't think that's knowable at this point in time. So,
No, you have a lot of people testifying to it.
well, of course,
okay,
but
so-
it's how deep does that actually penetrate? So, does that like fucking affect the guys who are actually like trying to prosecute federal crimes on a state by state basis? I don't know. So, there's a million different crimes going on here. Like this entire thing that is like politically motivated. How much does that actually control the entire organization? I don't fucking know. So, got it. So, but still at the same point in time, like how much of that does the president actually control? I don't know. So,
all right. So okay. So this is what I'm gonna. Okay. All right. I'm gonna put out.
tell me where I'm ignorant on this.
I'm not saying that you're ignorant on anything, right? It's a question of interpretation on this and a question of what particular things that you value, right?
Okay.
And that's totally fine because when it comes down to like, I know where I stand in terms of things that really piss me off, but for other people, are going to be like, I don't know, it's the cost of doing business, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for me, the number one, the politicization of the Justice Department is the top number one no go. Don't ever do this. You have totally fucked up our government because the second that you cross that Rubicon, that is like, so
Well,
what is the next?
what's the Rubicon here? What are they actually trying to do?
Well, okay, so let's go back to the. Let's go back and first start talking about the connections between the Justice Department, okay, and first I'll tie it into social media because this shit is stuff that I can actually point to and say,
yeah, no. I'm going to concede all points on here, thanks to Taibbi and stuff like that, actually exposing that.
okay, so here's the thing: is if I have evidence of this on just this small level of,
So, what parts of the Justice Department are actually doing well?
that's an interesting question. Okay, so I would say that the day-to-day things, for the most part, are well, especially like the further away that you get from Washington.
Okay.
The further away that you get from Washington, okay,
So, prosecuting like federal crimes on a local level, like money laundering and shit like that, that's fine.
that's their job.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But if I have to turn around and say, like, all right, but what about the application of justice on a federal level? It's like, all right, so let me get this straight. So you have the former president, okay, and you guys have allowed these farcical, absolutely farcical lawsuits to continue, right?
Yeah.
You have
But are those done on the federal level?
some of them are.
Which ones? I'm not sure.
Well, that's where the whole
I thought most of the stuff was like New York, D.C., and Georgia.
well, what about the Patrick? I mean, what about the part where they're talking about, is this like an actual insurrection? This is the investigation that
That is, but that's going to the appropriate authorities here.
right.
So,
But how long was that in court? How long was
I don't
that in
know.
court? And they kept the tapes away from the public, right? Patrick, we
Which
still
tapes?
have the actual January 6th tapes, right? They kept those from
Yeah,
the public
yeah.
on purpose. The
Yeah,
the truth is,
but they came out. So,
not if the Speaker of the House didn't change.
okay, fair.
It would not have come out under regular means.
Yeah.
The problem here is that we still have people in prison, right, for those things where, and it turns out they weren't allowed to use that evidence at their trials.
Yeah, no, I get that. I can see
Totally
that point.
railroaded. You
Yeah.
had fucking Palestinian fuckers about 2 weeks ago. Well, no, not 2 weeks, about a month ago, right? Broke into the building, sat in, right? Went in and claimed this. Not one of them is in prison for 4 years, 6 years. This is what I'm talking about.
I don't think those are equivalent, but yeah.
You broke into the building. Bro, again,
Yeah. I don't know the details on this, man.
This is what I'm saying,
But they
is-
didn't break windows and shit. So, or did they?
they broke into the... And who cares if they broke a window? They broke into the building.
My point is if you
The other guys were let in.
okay, well, at some points in time and some portions of the Capitol, yes. So, but I don't know, man.
And the thing was, in the thing about the January 6th thing is, there were known feds that were doing this.
Yeah. And those guys
But they
need to go to
weren't
jail too.
They weren't in the actual protests.
I'm sorry, man. So, like, I get a very hard, bright line on this one. If you break something that's not yours, you're breaking the law.
okay,
So, if you punch a cop, you are outside of the lines of the law. So, okay, fine. So, if we can separate all those guys out of there, and if they were instigated by somebody who was or was not part of the FBI, both of those people should go to jail. So,
but
totally
that would
fine.
be like 4 people.
That's fine.
But it's not 4
Send them all
people
to
that
fucking
are.
jail.
But it's
So-
not 4 people that are in there for 4 6, 8 years.
I don't know.
This is what I'm saying is
Yeah.
the imbalance of the way that it's actually being targeted, right, is obvious, right? The actual numbers there are obvious.
Okay. Well,
right?
the obviousness of that notwithstanding, if you cross that bright line, you go to jail. So,
But we're not talking about that. What we're talking about here is the other many people who were railroaded, right? If you want to say
yeah, no. There might be an over pursuit of justice there, and that should be addressed.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying
that's
is
fine. Yeah.
it was applied completely unfairly and partisanly. And that's what I'm talking about, is when you use the Justice Department as a partisan tool, number one, you got no business being there. Okay?
No, you'll get no argument from me on that.
Right? So that's going to be my first concern is you're doing this. Then the evidence of, all right, so we're also going to use the Justice Department in concord with social media to control the flow of information. Number two, you don't belong there.
No, that
you should be out.
Yes, I agree.
Right?
So I agree.
If you're talking about things that are on my no-no list of what makes, if you're not doing it, right, then it means that the people on your staff who are doing this shit, right, are fucking corrupt as it gets.
Yep, they should be prosecuted.
Okay, but it's still going on. So
yeah,
if I can turn around and say, like,
I'm sorry, man, I'm just going to draw a bright line on that. If you violate the law, regardless of where you're at, so regardless of who's pushing you in that way, you should face justice in the long run. So,
but they're not.
Not yet.
They're still in. That's their present. That is the group of people there. That are the.
I don't know, like, how much of that actually ties back to the executive office. I'm not sure. So
then who are they doing it on behest of?
I have no idea.
Even though they have the evidence of the Biden campaign.
Hey, man, it might be like swimming towards the Fuhrer. Who knows? So, I mean, that's kind of the way, like, these things go in some respects. But, ties change. You get tied up in that. So, I just don't see a coordinated effort. So, other than the fact that it's like, okay, we're all going to swim towards the shore. So,
bro, I guess that's the thing is how can it not? All right, how can that not be a coordinated effort when they're deliberately coordinating information with the Justice Department's help to say, look,
well,
they fucked up that election. There's no two ways around it. They fucked up that election by saying they broke it out and they said before verifying it, they said that the laptop information.
Yeah, okay, so I'm not, like, really clear on, like, the election disinformation here, man. I've tried to dig into this a little bit. So, did Donald Trump win that election?
I don't know.
Yeah, okay. All right.
I don't know. Again, that's so I'm not going to dispute I'm not going to go into the fraud angle of this here because I don't know. I can say that there's enough suspicious things to make me say it doesn't look clean. I can say that other countries do paper ballots and they do it in a day. I can sit there
and they demonstrated that with Iowa the other day. So it's
exactly.
Yeah.
But what I can say is you guys have all these machines. There are problems, the documentations and things like Maricopa County where there were, problems like this, and especially in the places like in Pennsylvania, it's like it doesn't take you a week to count these. It also, I mean, there's plenty of things you're like, all right, I can't prove it, but there's enough to make me say it's suspicious. The fact that we have the whole problem here when it comes to voter ID laws, this shouldn't even be a question. This shouldn't even be a
What are the problems with voter ID laws?
That people say that you don't need an ID to vote.
Yeah, but you need to be established as a resident in order to get a ballot, right?
Oh, well, here's the thing is, in theory, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Right? But again, that's the thing is
see, that's the whole thing that I can't figure out about that is like how the fuck do I get a ballot unless I'm actually like registered and actually a resident of this county? I don't. How do you get around that? I don't get that.
Well, it's the same thing. It's like, all right, well, you're supposed to put your signature on this, but they don't do the signature matching. I mean, this is the thing.
Yeah, but still at the same point in time, how do you get a ballot? So, I mean, it's not like somebody can run that off at Xerox because two have showed up as like Jeff and Pat.
No, what they do is they basically ballot harvest. This is where the people
Well,
go.
what does that mean? So
That means,
I don't get that.
well, you have the people that basically go out to like the communities and they have
Sure.
ballots.
Which are legit, right?
Right, they're basically blank ballots.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
Yeah, but they all still have to have a name attached to them, right?
in theory, again, this is where it all comes into like I can't go.
So,
into
but how do you get like to a point in time where you have like 200 ballots coming from a neighborhood that only has 100 people in it?
There's your question.
Well, isn't that audible?
What do you mean audible?
Auditable.
Oh, auditable.
Yeah.
Yes, if they audit it, yes.
Well, I thought they did that. Yeah, okay.
Look, again, you have
I'm sorry, man. I just don't see exactly how you get a fake ballot punched through. So nobody's actually been able to explain that to me. It's like,
the way you get a fake ballot punched through is if you have the machine counting it. Patrick, okay.
so it's on the back end. So I have a machine that counts 2 ballots rather than 1.
No, okay. So
I don't. Yeah.
all right, let me explain this. Okay, so this is where they talk about the basically changing the totals. This is the
So
real.
it's after the fact, or
All right. So here's the really the ugly part, okay? So
Alright.
if you have a ballot counting machine, this is where they have especially in Maricopa County where they looked at the percentages of how many ballots came through that were presidential only.
what does that mean?
That means they only voted for one name on the election and it
Just
was
president?
the president,
Okay.
right? And it was overwhelmingly for Biden. Now this is the thing is you have blank ballots and you have a machine. Okay, it's just counting the votes when you feed it in. Okay, so what they have reports of is here's the totals we have. They take a box out from down under there, right, and you just feed them in one after the other, right? They don't need names for the machine to count them.
But was the count way over the amount of people who were in the county?
Well, no, because that would mean that you'd have an over. There were some counties that had like extremely high, turnouts, but we don't have like 100% turnouts in elections, right? It's never going to. It's never going to be like.
But how is this not auditable?
Patrick? It depends on who's doing the auditing, man.
Well, they had those guys like from some weirdo, like fucking company.
The Dominion Company, yeah?
No, the other guys like actually go through the Maricopa County ballots. They try to count it for like the next year, and the company folded.
That's what I'm saying.
See, it seems like it's really easy to trace this down. So if there's actually like, like all you have to do is take a sample of the ballots, especially if you have a large enough sample size, and then, like go back and test whether or not like people actually like voted this way or that way. I don't know, man. I think he legit lost the 2020 election. So
I don't know. Again, this is
yeah, but I don't think this is a wobbly leg to stand on for a future like kind of like election process. So how are they going to tighten this up in the future? That would be my question. So I mean, are they going to do all paper ballots, or are they going to?
should.
Well, that's fine, but like we do all paper ballots in this state, and we've never had a fucking problem with it, even with like previous like mail-in ballots. Because one person, one ballot. So they should line up perfectly. You got 50,000 people in this county, and you get like 50,000 ballots. Should be like really straightforward.
Well, that would be the maximum, yes.
But even then, you could take it with
turn.
samples if you have a 1/3 turnout. Okay, I mean, it should be like within a few hundred ballots, one way or the other, which really won't fucking matter in terms of how the county goes. So, because they'd be perfectly predictable even if you had 200 more ballots. So, like, see, this is the thing. Dinesh D'Souza did not actually establish this. It's like, okay, so explain the math to me. Bring me the math. All right, so...
Well, you can take that up with him. What I'm saying...
Well, yeah, okay, fine.
what I'm saying to you here is like, all right, so You asked me if I thought this was legitimate. It's like, I don't know. The
Yeah, okay.
circumstances
Yeah.
behind it leave room for question, right? This is where it comes down to, like, it's the same thing you asked me about January 6th when you asked me if this was basically like a false flag. I don't know for sure.
Sure.
What I do
Yeah.
know is that there were operatives within the group.
There are. Yeah, and
okay,
there are Antifa dudes there too. So,
there were,
yeah.
and I can also tell you that Ray Epps, the guy who said that we need to storm the Capitol, you know what his sentence was?
Ray Epps is a different case, man.
Do you know what his sentence was?
Like 9 months.
No,
Well, it's
probation.
probation, yeah.
Right. So you're telling me that people that weren't on the Capitol, right, who have been sentenced for 2 years because
yeah.
of saying things that could be interpreted as do this, right?
The critical piece of information that you need to know about Ray Epps is that he was a chapter president of the Oath Keepers. So that is more important than anything else.
Probation.
I get that. So
That's what I'm saying. People that weren't on the Capitol actually got time.
I
He
got
got probation.
he got probation. So Oath Keepers are a different story, though. So,
But this is what I'm saying here is like
I don't think he was an FBI plant. I think he was actually stooge. So
I think it was an informant. I think he was.
I think he was doing right, and thinking he was doing right. The fact that he's actually an Oath Keeper chapter president is more important information than anything else. So that's a different discussion.
It is. But you were asking me if it was the same kind of thing here with the election and all that stuff. So can I say for sure? No, but I can say these are the things that have been reported on election day about what was going on with the actual stuff.
Yep.
And also with what was going on with January 6th with things that were kept hidden and then released.
No, I can see that point. Yeah.
To the point where, like, look, they have guys on fucking camera, right, that are being, walked off by the cops, and they're showing their badges to the
Where
fucking
is this?
Oh, it's in the footage.
In the election or Jan 6?
January 6th.
Okay, all right. Sorry, I'm not clear where you were.
You have guys that are showing their cop badges, among the adjutants to the cameras.
Yeah.
So, am I going to say that it's out of the realm of possibilities? No, but it's sneaky as fuck. It's to the point where you say, all right, what are the things that you say, all right, if you want this to come across as legitimate, okay, what are the things that you say we should change? All right, so why is there an opposition to A, voter ID, and B, paper ballots, right? Why can't this be counted on the same?
Oh, I wouldn't say that paper ballots are a problem as long as they can be mailed in. So...
Right, and I can understand that, but then using the voting machines...
Bro, we've been doing that for 20 years here. It's fine. So
here, but that's the thing is, we're not a state that makes these suspicious things.
We have been a purple state in the past. It's been important in the past. So
and for how many electoral votes?
Maybe 4.
That's what I'm saying here. That's what. But
I get that, man.
Was it in Georgia? It was in Pennsylvania. It was in the
Georgia didn't matter that much. Pennsylvania does, and Pennsylvania should be audited. So I totally get that. All right, but still, at the same point in time, I mean, bro, you and I both we lived through the closest election ever.
Oh, in 2000?
Yeah. And so, we know where these things go eventually if it gets to that point in time. They didn't take it up, so fine. All right. So we have already established a standard. Like, if it gets this fucking close, it goes to these 12 dudes or 9 dudes. Yeah. Okay, fine. So thankfully, it didn't get that close again. So my biggest problem here is, here's what's going on. You got a lot of Republicans out there and a lot of people who support Trump who don't trust mail-in ballots. They should fucking mail them in the future. Okay? Because really, when it comes down to it, if it gets flipped by, even in Arizona, by 500,000 votes, it's not in question at that point in time. It doesn't matter how much they try and stuff the ballots and things like that, because, you know where everybody's at. So, fucking mail your shit in. So, vote.
Or go do it in person. I don't care.
That's fine. That's totally fine. Do it both ways. Just don't, tell me that, hey, this form of voting is illegitimate, because you're going to be, disenfranchising a bunch of people who are like, hey, I have to be at work on Tuesday. So...
No, that's fine. And there are procedures there. Look, frankly, a lot of this stuff can be like handled like you can do this early. You can do things like that.
Absolutely.
Absentee, whatever. Right? These are well established procedures, right? So, but the problem I have, like to get back to where we were, right, is what are my problems with this current presidency? Number one is the complete overstepping of power when it comes to tying yourself with the Justice Department. That's disgusting. That is.
It is. I hope if Donald Trump gets back into presidency, he doesn't do the same thing.
That's what my problem is when you open that, you open that thing, then what does that encourage every... I mean,
Yeah. I got you.
I have a huge problem with that kind of accelerationism.
I got you on that.
Right? Yeah. So the thing is, and for me to pin it on one guy, it's like, well, I can't tell if it's the man or the people in his cabinet because he doesn't say anything. He doesn't do anything. He disappears, right? He never, I mean, again, doesn't field questions, right?
Yep.
That fucking mushroom head lies through her teeth every single day.
I got it. Yeah.
So this is so I'm like, all right, so which of you is in charge?
Kellyanne Conway didn't do much better, but
no.
Right, yeah. So no, I got you on that, man.
But
honestly, like the best thing is to actually discipline the federal government. So it's gonna happen.
That requires the federal government to discipline the federal government.
Well, it requires
doing a good job.
Whoever's in charge of it to actually discipline the federal government. Look, man, there's going to be a lot of people who think they're in charge of shit who are going to be disenfranchised in the next couple of years. It's fine. So it'll all work out well. So it really will. Don't doubt me, dog. I got you. So we're just going to have to pull back from a lot of stuff.
Well, all right. So let me put this into perspective here too, in terms of things that in terms of disciplining each other, right? Have we walked back any of the powers that were given to the executive branch since 2000?
No, until like last week. So with the entire Congress completely folding on Ukraine aid.
Yeah.
So there you go. There's that one.
But in terms of
we are not giving the executive branch the authority over the border that we used to, so that's a retrenchment as well.
Well, because they're fighting it right now.
That's fine. We'll see how that works out, but nobody's going to get what they want out of it. So yes, that is a retrenchment.
Texas called out the National Guard to handle this. And
so I got a question about that. I'm kind of curious about that. So if you have a lieutenant general, who comes down from the fucking Pentagon and looks at all these dudes and say, hey, fucking move over that way, do they have to do it? I don't know.
What, the migrants?
No, the Texas National Guard, because they're technically still part of the Army.
They are.
So if you had a dude from the Pentagon who had 3 stars as opposed towards your 1-star Texas National Guard dude, does the 1-star tell the 3-star to fuck off? I doubt that. I really doubt that.
Military chain of command.
So, but still, at the same point in time, the idea of actually having the National Guard defy the national government is a terrible fucking idea. We did that once a long time ago. It was bad.
Actually, I think it's brilliant. I think
it's fucking terrible, man. The entire army should have an entire chain of command. So, and if the federal government turns around and tells Texas National Guard do this, they should do it. So.
Sorry, man, but if your federal government is actively fighting you,
then you guys rip off your fucking stripes and go do it on your own. So, yeah, that's fine. Go do that and see how that works out. So, but really, when it comes down to it, I like the idea of having a national army. So I do not want fucking National Guard guys from an individual state, an individual governor saying what it is that our National Guard can do. Fuck that. So roll them all back into the army. So.
Okay, but so I get what you're saying when in terms of
take away their guns. That's fine. So,
well, no,
Yeah.
I understand that, okay, and I understand on a like a discipline level, accountability level, I should say, right? Accountability
you
is
swear loyalty to the
to the
Constitution, not
Constitution.
your fucking state. So,
Right. I got that.
yeah.
Okay. And so I understand in terms of like accountability because it's like, well, this guy said this and these guys said this, right? And if people get shot, then it's like, well, whose fault is it, right? Got it.
Yeah,
Okay. My problem here is if your federal government is not protecting your borders, like let's say, for example, okay, so they're not protecting your borders. The federal government is not taking care of the migrants in Texas, right? So much to the point where what has New York had to do? What has New York done about stopping the migrant flow to their state?
Well, they can't do much about it because, like,
Well, they
that's
did.
stupid state law. So,
Well, they did. They stopped the buses coming into New York, right? They did. And they're suing the bus company for doing this. So,
yeah.
where are the
that all
migrants
needs to
coming
be
in?
sorted out, man.
Well, here's the thing is, so the buses now are stopping in New Jersey and saying New York is that way.
Yeah.
Right?
Walk.
So, but that's the thing is, if your government is not stemming the tide of this, if your federal government isn't doing this, then what are you supposed to do as a state?
You got to
where-
call your congressman and get it sorted out. So, I'm sorry, man. We do not solve problems with guns and barbed wire. We solve it with words and deeds. So, yeah. So, like, if you're the Texas National Guard and you're putting up concertina wire and the feds, the 82nd Airborne comes in and tells you to tear it down, you fucking tear it down. So, that's where your loyalty lies. It's to the Stars and Stripes. So, figure it out.
Stars and Stripes at behest of who?
Whoever is in charge at the point in time.
Who is that?
Joe Biden right now.
Okay, what's the problem with that?
Well, there's a lot of problems with that. You have to fight that on a political level, not with guns.
And if your political adversary is actively using the Justice Department to his advantage,
You vote him out of office.
right, but that does not solve the problem of
It
what's
will
going on.
eventually. It won't right now. So we solve
That's-
that out. We solve that out at the ballot box, not with guns. So
Look,
I'm sorry, bro. It might take a little bit more longer than you want it to take out, but yeah, that's how we do it.
it's not a question of longer. It's a question of basically overreach. If somebody is, if
Vote him out, then. Fucking vote him out. So
bro, okay,
there you
that's-
go. Go make your case in front of like all kinds of blue states. So that, I mean, we're all in this together. There's all 50 of us. So
That's a theory. Again,
it's not a
like,
theory. It's the way the government works. So
right, but again, you're talking about I have to basically forego an existing problem right now,
Yep.
right, to say that theoretically this will fix itself if this person is voted out at that point. That is absurd.
that's where you go do your work. So yes, I'm
It's a
sorry.
lot of things, but it's not a solution.
It is a solution.
It's not. It's
Absolutely a solution.
it's
It
the
just takes
definition of
more
not a
work. You
solution.
just want to get done faster. So yeah.
in
So
what regard? No, to get done. Period.
okay, vote the guy out. So do it.
That's not something that the state can do.
The state can totally do that if they pitch their case to enough other states. So not a problem.
So let me get this straight. Let me get this straight. Okay. So regardless of what transgressions the executive branch does, the only solution you ever have is to vote that person out.
That's not the only solution. You have the courts as well.
Okay,
So-
which is what one of the avenues that they're going with right now.
That's fine.
As of right now, the state has the power to call in the National Guard.
Yeah,
So
but
they have done so.
I don't want National Guard guys pointing guns at federal guys.
Then
so
don't send the
fuck
federal
that.
guys. Then don't send the federal guys.
Well, okay, I don't know. So
Then let the state handle it their way because
but
as
that's
of
the
right now, they're not
feds'
doing
point in
anything.
time to actually decide that. And if you actually want to change where the feds can decide to point their guns, you got to change the feds.
All right, so I'd ask you this. All right, so you're talking about taking an oath to the Constitution, right? Does
Correct.
the Constitution talk about promoting basically the safety of the citizens within the
I'm sure it does.
All right. So if you took an oath to the Constitution to protect the safety of the citizens of your country, right? Does that not supersede, right? Because here's the thing. If you can look at this and say, like, well, the border guards, what are they doing? They're protecting the safety of their citizens, right?
But if they're shooting citizens who are actually federal employees, I don't think so.
I would argue that those people are acting against the Constitution.
Okay,
But
let's sort that out in the court. Let's wait to see how it works out.
absolutely, that's fine. But you have to do that. You have to take those actions
You don't have to do it right
to
now.
spur that on.
You don't have to do it right now. You can wait to see like who says what's legal and what jurisdiction actually like supersedes over others.
You can.
You don't have to do it today. You can wait 5 years. You can wait 10 years to figure that out.
What you can do is you can say, I have a problem now. I will do this. I will stop when you force me to stop.
Or you can go to the ballot where it matters and force that change next fall. That's fine too.
And at that point, you are essentially, what you're doing is you are forgiving any grievance, any kind of overstep by the executive branch by saying that, all right, what you do, I have to tolerate, okay?
Correct.
And my only recourse is to vote you out.
Correct.
And that is not a solution for a problem happening right now.
But that is how we refrain from killing each other between now and then.
Then,
I would rather do that than kill each other.
but nobody's killing each other.
Not yet.
No, what we do have here is we do have problems at the border, okay?
Okay.
There's no two ways around this,
Sure.
okay? And so if you're saying that the next step is killing each other, right?
Well,
But that
no,
is not
we got a little ways to go before we get there.
That is not happening. And if
Yeah.
that happens, it's going to be at the behest of the federal government who have decided that
I'm not
we have
interested in assigning blame to either one of these things. I'd rather see it get resolved.
No, it's not a question of blame. It's a question of this person in Texas, right, has decided to deploy the National Guard.
That's a bad idea, especially if it's in direct conflict with any federal troops that are deployed there. So
But that's what I'm saying is
you're just
if
trying to actually push it on Joe Biden's desk here. This is a bigger issue than that.
no,
So-
it is the issue. The issue is if this person
You got a choice in that next November. So
you have a choice in it now.
no,
you have the
you have
authority
to wait
do
till
it.
November.
No, you
So
have the
You
authority
have to wait
act
till
now.
November. It doesn't have to happen today. So we can wait until November and we can sort it out then. That's how we solve our problems in this country. So
No,
with elections,
like it can't. No, again, I hate to put this in such an immediacy. I don't like to make analogies like in these kind of things. But at the same time, this is the situation like in New York, right? When you have the situation, the manslaughter trial of the guy that stopped the dude on the train.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, I understand that person is now facing justice that will be decided by a jury.
you'll
Right.
be all right.
But he acted, right? He
Correct.
acted in the best interest of trying to help people at that
Sure.
time, right?
Yeah.
Now, if there is a crime being perpetrated or something, because you got to remember, okay, immigration like this is illegal to begin with.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so you have this happening you're having your local area address an already illegal issue. That's my concern here, right? It's not as though these people are being detained out of nowhere, right? So
no, you're totally right on that.
so they called in the help to stop an illegal act. Same thing as the guy in New York, right? Now, afterwards, you could look at this and say, all right, we're going to look at if you overstepped any boundaries or this was legal or not.
Yeah, okay.
So within your power, you can call in the National Guard, okay, to stop which is an illegal act down there in that area. If your federal government, okay, decides to act and say, all right, we're going to step in, okay, then that's their prerogative, but that's their reaction to do. If they are not handling the situation at the border, then that is the state has to make a call. They have to say, what am I going to do about
Is
this?
the state governor, is Greg Abbott in California going to order U.S. troops to fire on other U.S. troops?
I don't know.
I would say that would be.
Not.
I would say if he did decide to do that, there would be a horrible overreach of his authority.
I would agree.
And at that point in time, that absolutely needs to be adjudicated on a level that is not his.
I can see that point.
And so that's that's where I'm at. If you have the 82nd Airborne pointing rifles at the Texas National Guard, this has gotten out of hand and is out of both of your hands. It needs to go to federal court at that point in time.
I would agree.
That's fine. Okay. So, but still, at the same point in time, if Greg Abbott puts his boys in a situation where they have to make that decision, that's on fucking him. So he should
Not even a little bit.
Not
even a little bit.
So if I was a private in the Texas National Guard and they told me to fire on somebody who's in the 82nd Airborne, I would not pull that fucking trigger.
Then there's the question: would you be okay with the 82nd Airborne shooting at?
I have no idea. That is not my call. So,
but
still,
that's the thing.
But still, at the same point in
call.
time, if Greg Abbott puts his boys in a situation to do that, he is already peeing outside the borders of his actual authority.
Absolutely not.
Okay, all right. We're not going to agree on this. So
no, this is basically. I'm
good. So yeah,
total victim
I'm sorry,
blaming.
but like insurrection is not something that I can actually tolerate. And so if a colonel of the U.S. Army tells a light colonel of the fucking Texas National Guard to stand down, that light colonel better fucking stand down. So, and if he chooses not to, that's a problem.
Bro,
So,
why are you going to that? This is what I'm saying here is deploying the National Guard.
The National Guard is part of the Army. And so if the Army tells the guy to stand down, that is insurrection if he chooses not to stand down.
That's fine. Okay. Bro, I think we're arguing past each other. What I'm saying here is there is nothing wrong with Abbott putting those guys out there to control the border, right? Your issue here is who does the accelerationism go upon if the federal...
It's not acceleration, it's who's in charge.
No, it is, because what you're doing is you're forcing an issue. You're forcing a conflict. So
I don't want them to use the Army as a way to force an issue.
Then if you're not... Remember, we talked about the Constitution, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so if your federal government is not protected, that is their job. If they're not protecting the borders... Right?
That's part of their job.
It's part of their job. So this is what I'm saying here is that's why I can't say it's wrong for the National Guard to be there. Now, on the other hand...
Oh, okay. Yeah, all right.
Right?
Yeah,
so
all right.
if
all
the
right.
feds come in and say, we're going to overstep this stand down, fine. Then it goes to the court.
Okay.
But that means that you are the one that instigated. You said,
sure.
We're going to shut down your attempt to protect your citizens.
Okay, I got you. All right.
That's what I'm saying.
All right. No.
I'm not saying shoot these people on sight.
Yeah, no, I don't want blues and grays here.
No. That's why he's
all right.
to do that.
No, you're fine. I'm tracking with you now. So, all right. So, sorry, my bad. So
No, that's fine. That's fine.
I just the accelerationist argument is not. I'm not a fan of it because, quite honestly, it's like riding a bike. So the harder you pedal, so the more you expect to get out of it. So, but really, when it comes down to it, I mean, it's not a singular effort. So we have to kind of be on the same page about a lot of this shit. So and so yes, I get the fact that Craig Abbott and the mayor of New York kind of fighting each other a little bit on some of this stuff, but it's not for one to flip over the other. They're just both trying to solve problems. So and some of those problems do absolutely stem from the federal government, but some are a little bit bigger than all of us together. So fucking Venezuela is a shit show. It's like Donald Trump would say, it's shithole country.
Would he be wrong?
He's not wrong, okay? But still, at the same point in time, you can't blame those people for trying to come here. So, all right, how are we going to actually sort this out? All right? So, if we can do this in a manner where it's good for Greg Abbott and, the dude in New York, that's a better solution. And that doesn't involve people like the Texas Rangers and the 82nd Airborne pointing guns at each other. So, and I know you're not saying that we should do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So, but still, at the same point in time, there's definitely quite a bit of contention going on the federal level right now. So, and you're probably right. So there's like a lot of people in the Biden administration who are crosswise with each other. So on this, and no, he's not doing a good job of managing it.
Well, let me.
But it's a fucking hard job. I get that. So
right,
yeah,
right.
he's got a lot of shit going on. So, but and maybe he doesn't have the bandwidth in order to actually be able to do this. So, and that's fine. That's what we have to decide in November. So
Okay.
yeah, but still at the same point in time, I mean, like this entire like narrative that's going on about like fracturing the United States and stuff like that, that's bad for everybody. Okay, that's terrible for everybody. So how do we help out Texas with this problem? So how do we help New York like tamp down all this bullshit that's going on over there? So yes, so we have to like kind of sort all that stuff out. So, but still at the same point in time, we have mechanisms in order to be able to do this. Let's just trust in those a little bit. So if the federal government is over its skis, and especially the administration, it's been disciplined many times by the voters. We're going to do that again this fall.
Okay.
And so let's do that. All right. So,
Okay.
I mean, I get it. We're all frustrated with it and stuff, but still at the same point in time, we've been here before. It's not that bad. So it's not as bad as it was in like the fucking 1968 where they were burning down all the fucking cities. So, and then they elected Nixon back in. So it's not as bad as it was in the 1920s where the fucking Klan marched on our own capital here.
Right.
So, yeah, it's not as bad as it was in 1868 where we let all the fucking Confederates back into the government. So, we're good. We got this. We can do this.
Well, no. Okay. So all right. So I'm not disputing you on this. Okay. The thing is, we're so far off the track that it comes down to like not focusing on individual issues at this point. Right
Sure.
now, it's gone to this. What I will ask you, and this will be kind of like the closing thing here, when you're talking about like an administration, right? Who's actually in charge? The question I'll ask you is, what is the thesis of the Biden administration, right?
I have no idea.
That's what I'm saying. When it comes to
I don't know, man.
cohesiveness, it is
It's
just
Clinton without the fucking underwear. I don't know.
right. It's just it's his administration. When I look at this, there's no central like idea to it. It's just let's do this, let's do this, let's do this.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. In theory, his
Yeah, it's not Obama, 2008. Yeah, it's not George W. Bush. Let's go fight the terrorists.
No,
Yeah.
it's not even 2016 of Make America Great Again. There's no version of this where I can point. It's the only
Right.
thing that he has is a slogan that says "Build Back Better." Well, all right, I haven't seen evidence of that.
Not yet, but yeah. Well, and quite honestly, I don't know how much he believes in that. So
That's my thing. Is I
It's
don't
fine.
think that there's a man that's in charge.
it's
of
not
this.
Reagan. It's not where like Morning Again in America. It's
Right.
not. Well, and like so, as an elector, we've rejected this in the past. So like even George Herbert Walker Bush talked about like the peace dividend and the New World Order, which
Yeah.
they fucking made songs about. About being ass, but that was actually a really fucking good idea. We just blew it. So, I mean, yeah. And so, like, this current administration has no thesis behind it. Donald Trump did. He'll be back. It might work out. It might not. So, he might just, like, ride his coattails for the next 4 years. You never know. So, but
No
still,
clue.
at the same point in time, the Biden administration has no thesis behind it. And you're totally right about that. And so, we can delegitimize it based upon the election, based upon, like, the woke left and their fucking bullshit. We can delegitimize it based upon Gaza, and everybody's else, like, on the left is going to actually abandon him on that, too. That's because he hasn't been able to stand up and say, hey, we should do this, we should do that. All right, so I wish he would say more about Ukraine. All right, so because I do think Russia is a threat in the long run. All right. But still, at the same point in time, if you disagree with me, put a thesis out there. So, but he's got none. So I get you on this one. That's why, like, the polls are going the way they're going. So at least Donald Trump's got a thesis behind him.
That's exactly it.
That's
And
fine.
that's
Yeah,
it.
that's
Whether or
totally
not
fine.
Whether or not I necessarily agree with it, right? That's
I'm starting to find myself agreeing with it a little bit more in principle, but then I watch him
well,
talk.
application has everything.
Application is a problem.
Application.
So, but still, at the same point in time, I mean, it's good to have a thesis. So, and Biden has no thesis.
Well,
So,
yeah.
well, he's got the same Hillary Clinton thesis. You know,
I would argue that she really didn't have one either. The
exactly.
that was
It's like America great, fuck off. You know, yeah.
I mean the idea, like one of the biggest parts of her campaign was it's her turn. Her turn for what? This is the thing. Is like
terrible thesis. You would never open a paper with that and expect to get a good grade.
Well, on top of that, it's also like, what do you think you're entitled to, and by what merit have you earned it?
Correct.
Right. So
well, and that's what made Obama's thesis so much stronger. He was like, "Hey, man, I'm up and coming. Yeah, hope and change. Yeah,
absolutely."
And it was great. It didn't pan out, but it was a good thesis. So same thing with George W. Bush.
I will say this about Obama. I will say that when he came in, I think he did represent that. I think a lot of people that don't benefit with hope and change did a good job of slapping his pee-pee into the dirt and fast.
Well, they bought him off.
I agree.
Yeah.
And I will say that I think that he was a gifted speaker. I think that he was a brilliant presence. But at the same time, I think that what
he got noodled.
Is I think that people were able to get in his ear and basically pragmatize him when what everybody was looking for him to do is like, oh,
let's go this way.
Stand up.
He was like, no, let's try the speed limit.
get in fights. Get in fights in the media. Go ahead. Don't. And that's his thing. And
Trump was doing like his own thing, but he got derailed. So
by a disease out of China.
Right. And so I've seen a lot of like arguments lately where, oh, it'll be like detente with China. It's like, no, that motherfucker lied to him. So that's going to be a problem.
This is James. This goes right into that. Here is that same thing of government overreach to say that these things cannot be discussed when it comes to COVID. These are conspiracy theories. Don't talk about these things. Ban, make this shit disappear, right? That's the kind of stuff that right now I say, like, our government is a very, very, very dangerous place.
Can be. So, I don't know, man. Like, with Trump, the big thing is, like, if you actually put a few feathers in his cap, like, detaching from China is a good one. Operation Lightspeed was actually pretty good, too. So, he actually was able to mobilize shit. So, yeah.
Right.
Like, a lot of people, like, look at that and was, COVID and stuff. But, hey, man, he did the things that he had to do with the information that he had, and he made it happen. That's pretty fucking impressive.
Well, when it comes down to it, all right.
Warp Speed, sorry.
Yeah.
Operation Warp Speed, yeah.
Well, ultimately here, right, the question was the application of it following from there, right? Because if I'm going to look at this and you have a president saying, like, all right, people want a vaccination to this, they want it now, right? Yeah. What do I have to do to facilitate it? Now,
right.
Does the application this is going to be his sticking point, is was the application of this in the way that you presented it to the media of like, just go get it done, blah, 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 blah. All right, now, was that basically like ramped up like crazy when he wasn't in office? Yes.
Yeah.
But he was there saying like, just go get it, right?
Yeah.
Now, if the whole thing out there was because look, I would argue that one of the reasons that people went out there and actually got those things is why I got the fucking thing, right?
I got it.
Right?
It was fine. Yeah.
Well, it was fine, but also you have to remember the information that was allowed to come out at the time, right?
Yeah,
the whole thing was, you get this, you will not get this disease.
Yeah, no, we're all
bullshit.
No, we're all familiar with that now. So,
right? So
yeah. But operating within constrained information environment, he did the best that he could. So, and that's fine.
I get it. And when I look at this in hindsight, I'm like, all right, that I get. I don't like the part afterwards where it's like, this is the repercussions they're facing right now. People like all those New York cops that lost their jobs for refusing this,
Right, yeah.
they're getting paid. The
Hospitals,
military,
nurses, yeah.
the military.
guys. Those guys have all been reinducted, yeah.
Well, actually, they haven't.
Well, some of them. So
It turns out that it's something like 9% of people who got
or they got
booted.
paid out. Yeah.
Well, they got paid out, but they didn't come back.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. All right. That's a different argument.
But yeah, that's this it's the same kind of thing of like, what is your government doing? Who's in charge of it, and through what avenues?
Right.
So, do I have a problem with that? Yes. Have I seen way more of it in this administration than the last? Yes. So ultimately, I have a huge issue with this, and I don't know if it's the man doing it. I think it's a lot of look. There are some big time progressives on his staff. Okay,
There are.
no two ways around it.
Yeah.
When you say like, so what's his thesis? I don't know. Put a lot of trans people in charge of high positions, right?
Well, like two, but yeah, sure.
Right.
I got you.
Right. This is the thing. It's like, what were you doing? It's like, this is all ornamental shit. This is all ornamental shit with no big thing. And the way that comes about is you have people where that is their agenda on your staff, right?
Yeah.
I have no doubt that shit did not come from the man himself, because he doesn't care about that. That is not his issue. That is not his brand of Democrat that he comes from.
Yeah.
Right?
That's okay, man. They're almost done. So
yeah, that's
yeah.
That's where I am with this fucking thing. I would much rather, sorry, Iowa, you let me down here, right? I would much rather have it been like a 75 count, Ron DeSantis, the people have spoken, right? Smoke and mirrors, we're not going to deal with this, because I think he'd be a way better president. But
He's just not in the right spot.
no.
Yeah.
Because he's running against that guy.
Yeah.
Right? So.
Yeah, you go with the disease, man. So that's where people are at, man.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, wait. Soft after this one. This one's way worse. I know that one. It'll take a weekend and some soup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've had that weekend, and I've had that soup.
It works. It works.
I lived.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
All right. I'm Pat.
Hey, I'm Jeff.
I'm hitting a button.
Yep.